Hi, I'm Betsy Airgood. I am from Evans, Georgia, which is right near Augusta. I started with First Form in June of 2021. At that time, I was 40 pounds overweight. I was miserable with my life. I was tired. I was burnt out. I'm a teacher, actually a teacher of the deaf. I was irritable with my family. I just was completely miserable and not really fun to be around. But the first thing that my coach started me with was learning how to talk to myself better and to work on my mindset, which was a huge thing for me. Biggest thing that I've built and changed was my mindset, of course, and I've built confidence. I went from really shy and unassuming and just kind of standing in the shadows to actually stepping into more leadership roles. I'm more willing to be out in front of people, to lead a crowd. I've had many people tell me that I inspire them because of the things that I've accomplished through this journey the last 2 years. A lot of the things that I've accomplished and overcome is in my essay that you can read, that's attached as well. Some of those being, I went from a non-runner to now I'm training for a full marathon. I have completed every single assessment for the entire time I've been with First Form because it matters to me. This journey really matters, and I want to change my life. And I did from the beginning, but it was different then. Like, I didn't really know exactly what I was getting into. And the further along I got into it, I realized just how important it is and how I need to turn in those assessments and stick with my coach and make sure I'm on track because it's truly become a lifestyle for me. My biggest challenge these last 2 years has definitely been my hearing loss. When I was training for my half, I went on about 2 weeks before, maybe 3 weeks before my race, I went on a 10-mile run as part of my training, and I came back from that run and could not hear in my right ear, and I thought, it'll get better, but it didn't. I went 2 or 3 days and it didn't get better at all, so I ended up at the doctor. When they tested my hearing, it was a severe level loss, 70 decibel, which means I can't hear speech sounds in my right ear at all. And when the doctor came in, he said it was sensory neural and I wasn't getting it back, most likely. And it was just devastating news. They put me on a lot of medicine to try to get it back, and it did not come back. And so that's been a process that I've had to learn to overcome and push through and figure out. And I didn't know at the beginning that running was what caused it. I didn't know what caused it. But he told me to stop running, so he let me finish my half, and then I had to put a cap on how many miles I ran because it was the distance that they were worried about. My biggest takeaway, though, from this whole experience has been building life skills that support not only fitness and nutrition, but also the rest of my life, my career, my kids, my family, and those being like discipline and grit and resilience, keeping the promises that I make to myself, staying on track, making sure that I do everything on my power list, just keeping myself accountable. And it helps to have those accountability partners and groups as well. That's my biggest takeaway, is just building the discipline and grit, because I did not have that before. Like I said, I was like this super quiet kid that didn't, I stayed in the shadows. I didn't come out and really say much of anything. I didn't feel like my words and my story or what I had to bring to the table was good enough for everyone else to hear. But now, going through this process, I realized that I have a lot to offer, and my story does matter. And I want to tell that story. I could tell it that I'm the poor, pitiful girl that tried to get healthy and then I lost my hearing as the result of running. And I could tell it that way, and I'm sure many people probably would. Or I could tell it in the way that I've become a warrior and I'm proving what's possible despite all the challenges in my life that I've had to face through this situation. And I really want to tell it that way. I want people to see that I have become this person, this warrior, that I can push through these challenges despite everything that's gone on. And it's been really hard. I've definitely struggled through that. But I want to keep pushing through, and I do have a goal now to run a full marathon, and they recently at the doctor put me on a supplement that hopefully will stabilize my ears so that I won't cause further damage when I run. So going through that process and getting on that medicine was difficult. It caused a lot of symptoms and side effects that were not fun at all to deal with, especially as someone who's been working on her health. Like, I'm not used to feeling sick anymore like I used to, and for that to come back is just like headaches and fatigue, dizziness. I would be nauseous all the time, and extreme stomach pain. So having to deal with that as someone who's healthy and never has to deal with that in the last 2 years, it was hard, and it's still, occasionally I still get those same symptoms, but I eventually pushed through that adjustment period and was able to regulate some of that medicine so it's not quite as tough. But I just want everyone to know that there's freedom on the other side of all the struggle. I went from this quiet, unassuming, standing by myself person to someone who now stands up and says, hey, I know the way, follow me, I can help you. And that's my biggest why right now. I didn't start out this way, but my biggest thing right now is I want people around me and everyone that I know to have the opportunity to change their life like I have. I was once one way, and now I'm this completely different person. If you would have known me before, you would be like, wow, that's not the same person at all. And it is because of Phorm and Coach Barb and the Striving to Heal community and everything that I've learned and everything that I continue to learn that keeps continually pushing me forward to not only get to this place, but to get even further. I can continue to work on everything that I've mentioned. This isn't the end. It's only the beginning. And I want to continue to inspire people to work on themselves, as I said before. And I get to do that through Striving to Heal's Facebook page. Last summer, my coach asked me to come on with her as a coach within the Facebook page and write some mindset posts and some different things in that respect. And I have enjoyed that thoroughly, and I get to be that leader and the person that I was always meant to be. That's the biggest thing for me is I wasn't who I was supposed to be before Phorm, and now I've changed my life in such a way that not only is it better, but it's who I was meant to be from the beginning. And it's the biggest thing. And I'm so thankful for everything that Phorm and Striving to Heal and Coach Barb and the whole team. It's just been amazing. And I'm just so, so grateful.